So what if I told you that some of the most common smart home habits are quietly sabotaging your privacy, security, and sanity? In this video, I'll tell you just about that. But if you're new to the channel, Chris Orm's the name, smart home is the game. Today, I'm going to be giving you 5 things that you should never do in your smart home. Whether you're just DIYing this or you're working with a custom integrator like myself, and these mistakes can cause you big time if you don't avoid them. So be sure to avoid these 5 things. Let's get started. Real quick, if you're struggling with smart home tech, maybe your Alexa routines don't quite run right, or your Apple HomeKit just feels a little bit janky, or all your devices won't just cooperate, I got you. For just $47, we'll hop on a one-on-one call, and I can personally walk you through setup and personally help get everything dialed in. This is no fluff, just real solutions. You got problems, I got answers. Click the link in the description and let's make your smart home actually smart. Item number 1, never use default passwords. Ever. This one's a basic one, but it's far too common. Leaving your passwords on the factory default device like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is just dumb. It's like leaving your front door unlocked and hanging a sign that says, "Come on right in." Your hackers know exactly what they're looking for, and these are the default passwords to get access to your network. Once hackers get access to your network, they can access your files, your passwords, your camera feeds, and your microphones, and you definitely don't want them doing that. So avoid the default passwords and change your passwords often. Apple is really helping make this easy for the end consumer by using things like the Passwords app to make it easy to do strong, authentic passwords and do things like multi-factor authentication, which you'll always want to do if you have the option. Item number 2, never mix your guest Wi-Fi with critical devices. You're going to want to keep your guest network separate from your IoT network. What does that mean? You're going to want to probably create a separate network for your IoT devices, and these are basically going to be your smart home devices. Your guest network should be a digital sandbox, and this is what I mean. It should be totally separate and isolated from your total smart home core. That's going to be the main network where you're operating, you're browsing the web, things like that. And I've seen people connect things like security cameras, alarm panels, and smart locks to their guest network. And that's a huge no-no. It's just not a smart thing to do. Let me break it down for you. Guest networks are just for visitors. They should have no access to your main device. If your router doesn't support VLANs or segmentation, it's time for an upgrade. Ubiquiti or Eero or similar systems make this all really simple. Number 3, and this is critical, and that's to never ignore the firmware updates. You're gonna wanna make sure you're constantly updating your firmware because this is for your security. This is to help you out. When security vulnerabilities happen, the latest security patch that prevents the latest security viruses from accessing your data are what's exactly going to be in the patch. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you're upgrading this as soon as possible. Firmware patches aren't just about new features. They patch security holes and keep your system stable. So don't snooze on those alerts. Either enable auto updates or set a calendar reminder every month to manually check if there's any sort of updates. One update could mean the difference between a secure smart home and a digital break-in. This next one is really, really dumb, but it's never put your voice assistants by a window. Someone's gonna shout at your voice assistant, "Hey, open the door and disarm the alarm." Well, you're gonna have to put in a passcode to do that, but it's still just not a good idea. If anyone has access to your voice assistant from outside the home, that can be a huge security vulnerability. Don't do that under any circumstance. Here's my solution. Keep voice assistants away from entry points. Or even better, disable voice commands for security features like unlocking doors and disarming the alarm. You just don't need it. And if you do use that layer, you definitely want to set a pin code like I mentioned. And item number 5, and that's going to be to never cheap out on core devices. And look, I'm all for saving money, but cheaping out on the key systems like your lighting control, network, or your security, those are the backbones behind your smart home, and that's a fast track to headaches. These no-name devices often fail after a firmware upgrade, have zero support, or even go offline for good when the company shuts down. You want to avoid these things like stick with known and trusted brands like Lutron, Ubiquiti, Savant, or Control4, or other brands that offer reliability, support, and system longevity. Like I always say, buy once, cry once. Let's recap and wrap up this video. Number 1, don't use default passwords. Number 2, keep your guest network separate. Number 3, don't skip firmware updates. Number 4, keep voice assistants away from Windows. And number 5, don't cheap out on critical components. Follow these rules and your smart home will be safer, smoother, and way less frustrating. If this helped, like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments, what smart home mistake did you make and how did you fix it? If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. And don't forget to book your smart home session if you want help getting your smart home dialed in too. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.